Well, happy Taco Tuesday, everybody. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know it is not working. And, oh, man, it's such a beautiful night tonight. It's about 70 degrees out here. It's got just enough chill in the air. And this is the perfect time to be talking about my quarterback, one Dak Prescott. Interesting thing today. Pro Football Focus. You know the boys at Pro Football Focus. They came out with their list of 32 starters ahead of the 2021 season of quarterbacks. Now, if you are a believer that the quarterback is everything, the be-all, and whether a team basically wins or loses is truly by the arm of the quarterback, then you have to feel good about where the Dallas Cowboys are with their quarterback. Pro Football Focus has him at 7th. At least you have him as a top 10 quarterback. In fact, I want to actually go through the list a little bit here because I want to look at the rest of the NFC East and determine, is this about right? Is this just throwing shade on the other teams? Or is Dak Prescott getting the bye? It was actually funny because earlier tonight I was talking about Philly 500, who it doesn't matter sign. Philly 500 is going to sell you on it being the best thing since sliced bread. He really will. He is going to tell you, oh, this is a great move. Yeah, okay. Be that as it may. Let's go through the list here, shall we? Okay. So the boys at Pro Football Focus have the 32 starters. And, of course, it's no surprise that they have the MVP, Pat Mahomes. I mean, Pat Mahomes, let's face it, he is the standard bearer for that. There's no need to even discuss Pat Mahomes. Number 2, Tampa Bay. Brady capped an incredible 2020 season with his 7th Super Bowl win, and his overall performance was a catalyst for elevating the Bucs to their 7th championship in franchise history. I'm not going to argue with Tom Brady being number 2, although you do still have to look at the team that's around him. Tom Brady wasn't the only thing that came to Tampa Bay. Tom Brady did bring some others with him, but you know what? Anybody who's won 7 Super Bowls, I can't say jack about, and I won't. Aaron frickin' Rodgers. The biggest question in the season will be whether Rodgers will be wearing a Packers jersey at all. He led the league in overall passing grade. Passing grade on 20-plus yard throws, 99.5. That's pretty good. And I'm not going to disagree about Aaron Rodgers, the bad man, although, they always talk about big games. And Aaron Rodgers in NFC Championship games is 1-3. Not throwing shade, just saying. Russell frickin' Wilson. Wilson started out the season on fire as a front-runner for MVP title over the first 8 games of the year, and he was Pro Football Focus top-ranked quarterback with an overall grade of 93.3. But, that was a tale of two halves because he did not look good the second half of the season. In fact, in the playoffs, he looked like some ass. He's been one of the most consistent quarterbacks in the leagues for a long time and appears primed to bounce back. But I'm not going to argue with Russell Wilson either. Deshaun Watson. Now, here's where I think I'm going to actually kind of say, really? Surrounded by the league's second least efficient running game and second least efficient overall defense last year. Watson was arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Was he? Okay. All right. I'm just going to leave that there. Josh Allen. Here's the interesting thing with Josh Allen. I remember when Jenna Wolfe said, Dak Prescott, he needs guys around him to be successful. That's what she said. But it's funny because if you actually look at Josh Allen before last season, Diggs, one of the best wide receivers in football, his numbers were kind of pedestrian. So I'm not disputing that Josh Allen isn't a talented quarterback, but quarterbacks also, too, are beneficiaries of the players around him. And clearly, he got a stud in Diggs. Excuse me. Dak Prescott. And Dak, too. Dak benefits from having great talent around. I'm not going to dispute that. But having great talent around you is not enough because, Andy Dalton stepped in where we still had Zeke Elliott, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, as well as CeeDee Lamb. And, well, let's just say there was a big drop-off. It was a drop-off of about 11 points a game. 11 points a game. So it's more than just having the weapons. Let's see what they had to say about my quarterback, Dak Prescott. Dak is back. Prescott was on pace for the best season of his career before going down to a season-ending ankle injury in Week 5 last year. For the second straight season, the Cowboys' offense was moving the ball effectively through the air. But will the unit pick up where it left off before Prescott's injury? I think it will. Offensive coordinator Kellen Moore and Prescott are going on 7 years together, 2 as players and the rest as a coach. They will know each other like they know what each other likes and how to make this offense. Four full seasons, he had 2 top 10 finishes in Pro Football's grade, but also has 2 finishes closer to the 20s. With the Dallas bevy of playmakers on the outside, I would expect this offense to again finding its footing once Prescott dusts off the cobwebs. Now, here's an interesting take here that I want to give you. And again, everybody's got their own personal takes and concepts and things like that. You got people that are going to praise one guy and they're going to kill another. That's just the way it is. But Dak seems to be getting a lot of love. And Adam Stein, NFL columnist, said, I envision Dak Prescott putting up video games numbers while America team wins the NFC East by several games. That's a recipe for a serious MVP consideration. Whew. Can you say target on the back? Because that's what we now have is a target on our back. We're putting out high expectations now. And expectations are the building blocks of resentment. This is what happens to us every offseason. They go through with the super hype, MVP, Pro Bowls, and, Super Bowl and everything else. And if we don't make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, then it was deemed a failure. But I guess that's what you get when you are America's team. Now let's go back to the original premise. If everything truly is about the quarterback, I still disagree with that it's still a team game. You can have literally 10 guys doing the right thing. One person doesn't do the right assignment, the play blows up. And as much as people think that, if I've got a great quarterback, nothing else matters. Well, you still have to have people around you. I truly believe that. I don't think Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys defense last year. And I dare you to change my mind. There's no way in the world you're going to convince me that had the Dallas Cowboys defense been with Tom Brady, that Tom Brady would win the Super Bowl. It just wouldn't have happened. But be that as it may, let's take a look at the rest of the list and where everybody falls in the NFC East. Okay, let's switch cameras back here. I have to figure out the problem here is because this is a white background. It's so bright that the lighting that I have just kind of puts me in a shadow. So, forgive me that I look kind of like overly tanned or you don't really see me, but hey, we do the best we can. The other problem is you can't put the light like right in front of my face here because then the glare gets on the TV. I'm learning these things. I've literally got 4 different lights, but they're all in different angles. There's one that's over here, there's 2 that are over there, and there's actually one on the table trying to illuminate this, but I can't seem to figure out how to illuminate me as well through there. So bear in mind, just bear with me. So we got Dak at 7. We got Lamar Jackson, former MVP, behind him. Okay. Then we've got Matty Ice. Matty Ice, who got an influx with Kyle Pitts. The question will be is, will he still have Julio Jones? And he says he can't envision the Atlanta Falcons without Julio Jones. Then we have Faker Mayfield. Baker, touchdown maker at 10. Matthew Stafford, who the Rams gave up a king's ransom for. Ryan Tannehill with the Tennessee Titans. Derek Carr. Kirk frickin' Cousins, the most overpaid man in the NFL. Justin Hubert, young gun coming up. We'll see if he has a sophomore slump. Big Ben is outside the top 15. Big Ben, damn. Ben Roethlisberger proved he's tough by coming back at 38 years old after elbow surgery and helping the Steelers to an 11-0 start, and then went 1-5 down the stretch. Kyler Murray at 17. Joe Burrow coming back from knee surgery. They say he should be good to go for week 1. And then finally we have a sighting of the NFC East. Ryan Fitzpatrick, better known as Fitzmagic. Fitzpatrick continues to play his best football the longer he stays in the league. The veteran ranks 15th in the pro football passing grade since 2018. Last year in Miami, he had the team rolling until Brian Flores took the quarterback room for a roller coaster ride. It's rare for a veteran quarterback placeholder to join a solid football team, but this will be the best team Fitzpatrick has been on in quite some time. Fitzpatrick brings energy, leadership, and a wealth of knowledge to the locker room, but the Achilles heel is protecting the football. If he's unable to play smart and deliver on explosive play, Washington will be a playoff contender. Okay, cool. Daniel Jones, better known as Danny Dollar Store. This is a big year for Daniel Jones to establish himself as a franchise quarterback. Haven't they been saying that every year? And the Giants are doing everything in their power to surround him with help, except an offensive line. Last year, the team had the lowest pass blocking grade in the league and 8th worst receiving grade. But new additions from free agency and the draft should help. This is the first offseason Jones will have the same offense, which will offer more familiarity going into his 3rd season. Jones must eliminate the boneheaded decisions and turnover-worthy plays that hold the team back. With his toughness and ability to make plays with his legs, Jones can make a big leap forward. Okay. And then, look, here, I'm sorry, I skipped you. Trevor Lawrence, Jags, okay. Jimmy Garoppolo, who is just biding his time right now. Carson Wentz, who the Eagles had to pay to leave. Shameless Winston and Tyson Hill at 24. Justin Fields. Jared frickin' Goff. What? And then finally we get to Cam. Oh, Cam. Sam Darnold. Okay. What's missing here? Anybody? What the hell's going on out here? Tua. Zach Wilson. And then we finally get to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Eagles flying helicopters around here now. Jalen Hurts will get his opportunity to showcase not only his skills, but his leadership heading into 2021. Hurts provided some immediate spark last season, but the wheels started to fall off after that. Hurts must manage the game and better decision-making. He finished the season with 9 turnover-worthy plays in the last 4 games. If Hurts wants to be the guy in Philadelphia, then he needs to protect the ball better. His leadership and poise will bring together the team, but production and winning games must follow. Ouch. And then you have Drew Lock after that. So I would definitely say that the Dallas Cowboys, as far as quarterbacks go, will this offense end up being a video game-esque as far as moving the football? We were on pace to have over 6,000 yards passing, which would have record. Now, I'm not wanting the Dallas Cowboys to be throwing for 6,000 or 7,000 yards. To me, that's not a recipe for winning. You're going to have a young defense that will be able to have a better win than what the old guys that we had. And I think partially this is one of the reasons why the Dallas Cowboys have stayed away from older veterans. I think that they're figuring that the offense is going to be a quick score offense and be able to kind of keep up with this track meet that the Cowboys are going to run. And the best way you do that is to have young pups. We'll see if that's going to be a correct statement. I'll go into that further later on. But at least in this area, and the Pro Football Focus will be going through and they'll be ranking, running backs, offensive lines, and so on. And so we can kind of compare. I dare say in this first category, the Cowboys get the win going away. And with that being said, you know what time it is. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.